Hey YouTube, Gonzombie J here. Today I'm going to be showing you how I make my DIY skin bronzer. It's a good alternative to chemical bronzer. Even though chemical bronzer is better than climbing into a tanning bed, it still has chemicals and things that are just bad for your skin in it. And some people do it with makeup, such as like face powdered bronzer and petroleum jelly. Some people make a skin bronzer that way. But the problem with that is that because it's makeup and it's meant for your face, it runs and rubs off, especially on your legs, because they're always moving. But coffee doesn't really run, and actually, it's a very, very good stainer. Not only does it reduce the appearance of cellulite and make your legs look toner, it absorbs the fat cells and evens out cellulite to lessen the appearance. It doesn't work miracles, but I've noticed that after extensive use of this, not extensive, sorry, extended use of this, my cellulite has actually gone away a little bit. So yeah, let's just get to it. You want to cook your coffee. I used raw coffee, but it didn't work as well as cooked coffee, I guess because the juices weren't really flowing. It wasn't activated by like steam and hot water. So just cook your coffee in any coffee machine. Just make some coffee and use the leftover grains. And you want to pour them into an empty container. Doesn't matter what shape or size, as long as it can seal in the coffee and keep it fresh. So yeah, you want to scrape that all into a container. And I like to use coconut oil because of the moisturizing effects. I like to use organic coconut oil just because it's paraben free, and a lot of lotions, you can use lotions for this, but a lot of lotions actually have parabens in them. And if you don't know what parabens are, those are hormones that mimic estrogen, and they're actually linked to many cases of breast cancer. Yeah, it's found in many deodorants and body creams. I don't specifically know why, but I mean, I don't know the purpose that parabens have in body moisturizers. But I mean, the purpose of this is to get something that's good for your skin, and I really don't want any chemicals or parabens, so I just use coconut oil. If you're lucky, you can find a paraben-free lotion. I have yet to find one. This is, I believe it's Vaseline. I peeled the label off because I was irritated, but as you can see, it has several types of parabens. Let me focus. Propylparaben, methylparaben. So yeah, just find a paraben-free moisturizer if you can. But I'll personally just be using coconut oil. So yeah, there are no exact measurements. Just make sure you can make like a paste, kind of. I prefer making a paste, but some people have made it into a more creamy texture and it works just as well, just based on your personal preferences. So depending on how much coffee you make each time you make coffee, one coffee strainer full, I just scoop out 2 spoonfuls of coconut oil. And I use 2 spoons because I don't want any coffee getting into my coconut oil. So next thing you want to do is just mix it around and see what texture you get. So yeah, it looks like diarrhea, but it smells really good. And this is also optional, but I am using vitamin E oil just to make it a little smoother and creamier, and also because vitamin E is very good for your skin. And as you can see, I just added the tiniest bit because we don't want this to run. And don't worry, if you accidentally use too much vitamin E, you can just take a little bit of dry coffee grain and that'll absorb it, and you just throw it in there and it'll absorb any extra. The next thing I'm using is a little bit of petroleum jelly. Coffee doesn't run, but you still want to use a little bit of petroleum jelly because it acts as a sealant. This way it's a lot less likely to rub off onto your clothes or onto a chair, which would be very embarrassing. It just locks everything in. And that is it. It still looks like diarrhea, but I'm going to show you the effects in just a minute. Okay, so a little bit of this goes a very long way. Like, if you're doing your legs or arms, like, this is probably more than what you'll need. All you need is a tiny, tiny bit. So I'm going to use what's in this spoonful on my forearm, and I'm going to show you the difference between my forearm and my hand. I would like to do it on my legs, but I'm using a handheld camera and don't really have a stand yet. I'm really sorry, but I'm going to do the best that I can to show you the results. Okay, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I'm in the process of rubbing it in, and it looks like a scrub, and you get these little leftover coffee things left over, but you can just brush or rinse those off. No, if you rinse it off, the coffee will not come off. It is in your skin now, but you can see the difference between my hand and my forearm. So yeah, once you're all done, you can do your hands. It will not come off. I've worn this all day before. I've worn it on my legs before when it rained, and it only came off of my feet because I was like stepping in puddles and all this gross stuff. It was just a really disgusting storm, but in drizzle and it won't come off. But yeah, this is my DIY coffee skin bronzer. For darker skin tones, I would recommend just using more coffee, more pigment. Maybe use maybe half as use like a half cup more of cooked coffee and grind it down better. I mean, if you have dark skin, like you obviously already have lovely skin, but for those of you who want to go a shade darker and you're not as like pale yellow as I am, I would just recommend using more coffee. So yeah, I'm gonna brush this off and do the rest of my body. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I really hope it was helpful to you. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like and comment below what you think. I'll leave a link to my Instagram below if you guys would just like to send me some pictures of your results. I'd really love to see them. I also have a coffee body scrub that gives you like a skin tint that lasts longer. Like say if you're going to go spend the night at a friend's house or it's your first like date night with a guy and you just want it to last longer, I have a body scrub and treatment that you can do. It'll just last like a day longer than it normally would. So yeah, leave a like if you're interested. I hope this was helpful to you. I'll see you guys later.